Welcome to the Real Mama Pod.
I'm your host, Devon.
And I'm your host, Kendra.
We are real moms.
Sharing real experiences. The things people don't tell you.
Hey, Mama, hey.
Hey, Mama, hey.
Hey, friend, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yo, it's been a mad long time.
It has. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been like 3 months.
It
since
has.
we recorded, because we both record for a very long time.
I know.
And now we're here.
We are. So who are you?
So if this is your first time listening, I'm your host, Devon.
And I'm your host, Kendra. Welcome to the Real Mama Pod.
Welcome.
So, what's up?
Well, we don't have a review, y'all. So if you've been kicking it at the pod for a minute, you know that we have been starting our show with a review. Mm-hmm. We can't start our show with a review if we don't have any. So we need y'all to write in.
Please.
And you know what? If you just DM us, we might start reading those because we do get a lot of DMs of the podcast is changing people's lives and things like that. So maybe we need to start reading those and count those as reviews. However, that does not help us on Apple Podcasts.
Yes,
so
or Spotify.
So wherever you stream, we need you to go ahead and just copy and paste whatever you wrote in the DM or the text message. Just copy and paste it in there and give us 5 stars.
We do appreciate those DMs.
Yeah, because we had one hater. Somebody gave us 1 star, but I really feel like it was an accident. They didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah, and you know that skews the rating.
Yeah. So go ahead and help us up that. Anyway, well, we do have some guests today, y'all. And they are
recurring guests.
Anticipated guests.
Yes.
You guys request them all the time. They might as well have their own show at this point. But real. We try to get them on quarterly, especially around Father's Day and things like that. Mm-hmm. So we have our husbands here.
Welcome.
Jared and Jonathan.
Why you say it like
that? You caught that, right?
Oh, Dr. Ferguson.
Thank you.
Now, y'all ain't got to address him as no damn Dr. Ferguson.
Dr.
Jonathan
Ferguson.
and Jared.
Welcome.
I'm a captain.
Oh, now you're a captain. So now you want to be Captain Grace?
El Capitan.
Okay.
Please, you two. I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm tired about it.
Okay, anyway. We have Jared and Jonathan here, so welcome to the Real Mama Pod.
Welcome.
Good to be here.
Appreciate you.
Things are different, boy. It's good to be here. Actually, for real this time.
So you didn't like it the last few times?
Not like this.
Okay, so it sounds like Jared has an opinion about what do you think about our upgrades?
Yeah, because that was one of the
Man, I think this is wonderful. We went from that ragged ass couch to like this genuine curated set. Look at that picture. That shit didn't come from Hobby Lobby. I tell you that right with a camera. That didn't come from Hobby Lobby. Y'all know how this thing started, and y'all know where y'all at right now. I'm very proud of you guys. Seriously, genuinely.
Thank you. First, we were never sitting on a couch.
What was that thing we were sitting on?
We were on chairs. Well, it was two chairs and a bench.
Like lawn chairs. Shit was not.
It was not a lawn chair
like this.
So,
Jonathan,
yes. What do you think about the upgrades?
I love the upgrades. Y'all have come a very long way. I think actually the couch probably would have been better than the benches that y'all was talking about. But this is much nicer. This is a great setup, and this is dope. Like, it's awesome.
Shout out to SC Media Group.
Yes.
Come on, Content House. Something extraordinary.
Yes. So we have a lot to discuss. So we're going to get right into it because we got a lot of questions and we only got about an hour. So we need to try to get as much as we can out. And so usually we ask you guys, how are you doing mentally? So we want to check in with y'all. I think it's very important for dads who listen in to get other perspectives from other men. And mental health is very important to us. So
and isn't June Men's Mental Health Awareness Month?
Yes.
Did I make that up or is that
yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's right.
That is true. So how are y'all doing mentally?
It's my turn.
Sure.
Mentally, I'm all right. I guess I'm not so, honestly, I'm not so good. You know, Devon, you've been going through a lot lately. And any husband, any man whose wife is not in a good space, then our space is off a little bit. Mm-hmm. But it's ebbs and flows, it's ups and downs. I would say it's not necessarily a valley, but it's definitely not it's like a crest. It's like that military crest. It's not up, not down, kind of in the middle. Because until you're good, I'm not fully good. So I'll say I'm all right mentally.
Oh, thanks, babe.
Okay.
Yeah. For me, I'm in a good space now. I think for a while I was in like this just kind of like this kind of gray, not necessarily fully dark period, but just gray melancholy, and just where like my confidence was kind of lacking, just everything was kind of low, right? And I'm in a much better space now, and getting back to feeling more like who I was, right, and who I'm supposed to be. So I'm in a real good space now.
Makes me happy.
Yeah, so happy to hear that. All right. Friend?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Just processing. So we've been seeing a lot of conversations on social media about leadership and submission, and I can't wait to hear what y'all got to say about this, because it has been a lot of real intense conversations about it on social media, and we all have our ideas of what leading and following and being submissive is to each other and partners and such. But we're both curious about what does leadership and submission mean to y'all? What does it mean to lead and submit? Whoever wants to take that answer first.
I'll take it. First, we'll talk about leadership, right?
In the context of your household.
Right, of course. So as the man of the house, is that what we're saying?
Sure.
So leadership in terms of being a husband and being a father to a family, to me, is always being that moral compass, always providing that solid guidance and everything that's sort of grounded in the Bible. Recently, for me, I know I need to love my wife well, and I know I need to teach my boys morals and values that are really grounded into the Bible. As far as submission, I think people misinterpret submission when we talk about in a marriage. Submission isn't like inferiority. Submission is giving somebody the complete trust to follow them or to go along with what they're saying. And submission isn't just for a wife. Husbands need to submit to their wives as well. We all have strengths and weaknesses. I would submit to my wife in certain situations because she's just better in that aspect of life. And I feel like she can submit to me in certain ways because I have experiences that we can best like lead our family. So for me, that's what leadership and submission is. I think people think of submission as like a bad thing. I ain't about to submit. I'm part of the beehive. Man, damn all that shit.
What
What
Beyonce
does
got to
Beyonce have to do with
I
this?
disagree with all that.
No. Leave
Now here
Beyonce
she
out
goes.
of it.
See how Beyonce come in here in between this marriage? See that? See that? Huh?
Beyonce
Yes.
ain't got nothing to do with
Beyonce
this.
got a lot to do with it. Anyway.
Don't blame my girl.
You right. I ain't gonna blame your girl. But submission is not necessarily a bad thing, and it's not a sign of inferiority. It's just a sign of trust. Do you trust the person that you're with? Do you trust the person that you decide to do this life thing with? And if you do, in time, you can follow them. And it might seem like you're submitting, but it's just giving them the opportunity to lead you and understand that you can build that trust with that person because you trust them to take you in the right direction.
That was good, babe.
I appreciate it.
I might actually agree with you just a little bit.
Damn, that's a first. Right here in the SE Content House. You heard it. Y'all recorded that.
Okay, darling.
Darling.
What is your response?
So I would have to like agree with most of what Jared said. Just like leading and submitting, I think it's going to ebb and flow with whatever the situation and context is, right? Like there's going to be times where I have more experience, I have more knowledge in this area, and I can take the lead, right? And there's going to be other times where it's like, can't got that. I'm gonna follow your lead. I'm following you, right? Like there's just times where there's gonna be opportunities for you to lead and opportunities for me to follow, right? And I think that's really what we're talking about, right? It's just who's gonna be able to, and at times, right? It doesn't even have to be like rock, paper, scissors, fight, arm wrestle to see who's gonna lead, right? Like it's just about what makes the most sense, and even sometimes it's going to be about collaborating on like what is best for our family in this moment, right? And even collaboration is submission in a form, right? Like even that is like submitting to the will of our family and what's best for our family, right? And that's what I think about submission and leadership is that it's going to change. It's going to ebb and flow depending on the context.
That was good. So to maybe give some examples, maybe people don't know or looking for more information about leadership and submission. What are some examples of how you lead your family and then how you submit to your partner or to us?
And even how we
submit as well. Just one example of each: how you lead, how you submit, how I lead, how I submit, vice versa.
Yeah,
you got it. Okay.
I think we got it.
Okay. Just making sure.
I think
the educator in me have to make sure everyone is clear when I'm asking.
If you can hear me clap once. So I think for us, I think a lot of times when it comes to like activities for Eli and for his like educational, just for his development in general, like I think those are some things where I might make some suggestions, right? And Kendra be like, yeah, I think that's a good idea, and she can submit and follow, and we are on the same page, right? And I think on the other side, it's like Kendra taking lead on just getting our life together constantly, right? Mm-hmm. Like constantly thinking about the organization of everything. Whether that's just from like a daily itinerary, what we're doing next year.
You're being a smart ass right now.
No, I'm being dead ass.
You serious, and go ahead.
Yes. But yeah, I think these are different opportunities where like you take lead in other areas where like I take the lead, right? Mm-hmm. And it's not something where we are pushing and pulling on. It's just, this is what makes sense. Yeah, let's roll. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Yep. Ken, do you have anything to add to that? I think it's good to hear our perspective too.
It is a good idea. So Jonathan is right in a lot of what he's saying. We have our strengths, right? And I understand what my strengths are, and I understand what Jonathan's strengths are. Mm-hmm. And if he is on this path to leading us to success in whatever his strength is, I'm all for it. Mm-hmm. But if he ain't, then I got to challenge that a little bit, right? And he's okay with me challenging him, or at least I think you are. Maybe not all the time, but both of us are very vocal too in things we don't necessarily agree with or things that we appreciate in one another. So I think that's also a big piece of this whole leading and submitting piece, is that we actually show appreciation for each other, acknowledge the fact that, hey, babe, you did your thing with leading us in whatever the case is. Mm-hmm. Or also you fucked that up. Mm-hmm. And it's okay for me to say that, right? And it's okay, to have that conversation because we have that kind of relationship. Mm-hmm.
You made me think about like also knowing you and knowing how I have to present things to you, right? I can't just give you how I see it and like high level things. You're very detailed. I got to present the entire picture to you.
I need a whole deck.
Step by step.
That's the military in y'all.
This is what's going to happen. And like, I know that, right? And so if I don't present it that way, then I'm not doing my job in leading the family, right? So like I had to take a step back as you were talking and think about like how I lead as well. Not just like the situations, but like how I have to think about it when I'm going about taking the lead.
But also the flexibility too. And like you have a way of communicating. Mm-hmm. And I have to also accept that, like I while I love my details and I like my PowerPoint slides and I like all the information before I make a decision, but also being flexible and knowing that that's not necessarily the way you communicate and process things. So I'm working on it.
Oh, okay.
I'm working. I'm a work in progress. Okay. I hear you, right? You act like you think I don't be hearing you, but I be listening. I be paying attention.
All right.
All we got is time.
That's right.
That's right.
So what about y'all, Graces? Go ahead, Jared, with your response.
Yeah, no, I have two things that come to mind. One situation was very recent. We have an issue where a kid is hitting our son at school, right? And my wife works in the education system. She is a school psychologist, so she knows how to talk to these people. So she set up a meeting. Now I would walk in there and I would say, "Hey, listen, kid hit my son. I'm gonna take him home. I'm gonna tell him bust his ass in the face, and then we gonna be good after that." But my wife, I don't say nothing. My wife sat in there, talked to that lady. I will not say it as well as Devin put it. She said something along the lines of, "I'm worried about my child's safety in this event. It's happened more than once, and I don't know how long Drew can display self-control being that he is being harmed in school. And I'm not sure if we're going to be an advocate for this for many more times." I'm just sitting there listening like, shit, I'll be quiet. Because that sounds a lot better than, I'm going to tell my son to go whoop his ass in a minute now if he keep hitting my son in the face. And so in that sense, I really did submit to Devin and her knowledge in the school system, because I do not have that tact with these people. I just don't. And babe, seriously, all jokes aside, like, I'm very impressed with how you dealt with that. I can't word it as well as she did because I'm not a school psychologist. But the lady understood what you were saying. She understood, and it turns out they had a resolution for it the next day. And I think it was how Devin presented our family in that entire, because we showed up for our son. We said, "Hey, we're not going to tolerate this. This is an issue. We need y'all to fix it. Because if you don't, it's going to escalate. And if it does escalate and you try to give these adverse actions to our son, we're going to combat that, because we tried to have these interventions before." And so I learned a lot from Devin as far as like patience. I'm a very aggressive person at times, because I just think that certain, I would handle things very differently than my wife. And so I was just very quiet in the office, and I've completely followed my wife, and it came out to be a good outcome. Mm-hmm. Where I think Devin, so we brought up camping earlier. Y'all might not see that. It was behind the scenes. We were talking about camping. I'm in the military. I go out to the field all the time. And so Devin really does allow me to say, "Hey, this is what we need for camping. This is what I need. This is what you need. This is what I need. This is what the boys need." And she's completely okay with that. And I will even admit that sometimes when we went camping, I dropped the ball. Ooh. Like, I was like, damn, like we need a bigger tent. But that's just because I'm cheap. I'm cheap, 100%
cheap. Jason Pitts.
Am I cheap, or you just spend a lot of money? But so
we were in a 2-person tent. It was 4 people, and we have blow-up mattresses. So our tent popped, and we had the roommate with the Ferguson.
That was not a
both things can be true.
That was not. That was a 4-person tent. If we don't get this big ass blow-up mattress camping,
both
then
things
you don't
can be
need
true.
That.
Both things are not true. It's only one thing that's true.
Both
he was
things
not
can be
prepared
true.
with the tent. Okay.
Someone can be spending too much, and someone can be cheap.
The spade.
Okay.
Let's call it a spade.
We had a too small tent for our big asses.
Fuck it. The tent was too small. At the end of the day, if we didn't have a big ass blow up mattress, why we need a bed outside? Sleep on the floor. Sleep on the floor. But I ain't gonna get into it. I'm trying to be positive. So we was at the camping thing. We went camping this next time, and Devin allowed me to pack all the stuff, plan everything out, and she followed me, and she trusted me to take us camping and understand that we would have everything that we needed. And I appreciated that. And so those are 2 examples where I had to follow Devin, and then Devin chose to follow me. So that's my answer.
I think for sure when it comes to like bills and finances and stuff like that, like I definitely take a back seat. I'm not redlining everything. I don't have the Excel spreadsheet. That's all Jared. I do give you credit to that. That stuff gives me a headache. I'm just more like a swipe girl and go.
I'm glad you said it. But I'm glad you said that shit.
I know the money gonna be there some way, somehow. He figures it out. So between you and God, y'all make a way. So
won't he do it?
All right.
Thoughts and prayers,
so
Jared.
Obviously, marriage can be hard. Mm-hmm. It can be tough to navigate. It is tough. It can be. It is tough to navigate.
Yes.
And when we fall on hard times. Like, what about our marriages? So, Graces, what about your marriages? Or your marriage? What about our marriage? Like, what stops you from just saying, "I'm just throwing the towel in"? When times get hard, like, what says no? I'm not gonna throw the towel in.
I enjoy hard times more than good times because if you can't dance in the rain with me, I don't want you to be around me when the sun's shining. I just don't. And so Devin has been in the trenches with me. Like Devin has shown me, like if we don't have a pot to piss in, she gonna be right there. And so when everything is good and when everything is great, I want her to be right there too. So that's what really. And me and Devin have been through some downs, some lows. We actually low key in a low right now. Like people don't know it. We don't talk about it much, but we're in a low right now. And like, I guess the thing that keeps me going is knowing that we've been lower than this and we've still made it through. Like Devin is my ride or die, whether she know it or not. Like she my ride or die. Like if we ever get divorced, I'm not marrying nobody else. Like I'm not doing this shit again. Right? Like this is it. Like she's the one for me. And if we don't get it fixed, then you know what? God may not made somebody for Jared Grace. Because if it ain't Devonese Grace, then it ain't nobody for me. And so when we see those dark times, it's really, I enjoy those moments more because you can really see a person through adversity. Like that's who they really are. Mm-hmm. Anybody can smile when everything is great. But what about when you don't know where that next meal coming from? Like, what are you acting like? Mm-hmm. And Devin was there with me. Like we did in Pittsburgh, we was broke as fuck. Yeah. Like, but she was right there. Hey, babe, don't even worry about it. Like, what did I stole money from the strip club and gave her lunch money.
Yo, he gave me lunch money from the strippers.
I sure did. I sure did. Hold on. Wait. I didn't steal from the strippers. I didn't. I was invited to this Pittsburgh Steelers party, and this lady brought this tray of money, and one of the Steelers gave me, hey, Jerry, here's $100. You can spend it on the strippers. And I said, oh, okay. I put that shit in my motherfucking pocket because I knew my wife needed lunch that week. So I went home. I was like, babe, look what I got. like, you know what I'm saying?
Shake a little something, huh?
Whole bunch of ones. I'm like, hold on.
My wife paid with 100 ones that week for lunch. But that's what I'm talking about. Like, it's those times. And she was like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody not going to stick it out with you in those times. Like, and we doing a lot better now, and I can appreciate that. And, like, I just thank you for being with me during them times.
Thanks, baby. Do I have to answer it too, or just the guys? Just asking.
Well, she did pose a question to the Graces.
So, even though we are in a low, Jared is my person. We've been together since we were 19. We are in our late 30s now. That sounds so weird to say that.
We ain't that late.
It's still late. Okay, it's late 30s
that late.
now.
Y'all put not.
I ain't in my late 30s.
Not yet.
Y'all late 30s.
First of all,
that side of
you are just
that side of the pod
younger.
You are not that much younger than
right.
I ain't gonna never be as old as y'all either.
Let Devin answer her question.
But Jared is truly my person. In my lowest point in my life, like he's there picking me up, picking up the pieces. He's seen me at my ugliest. He's seen me. You've been there for everything since I was 19. So I really could not imagine myself without you. As much as I complain, as much as you get on my nerves, I still love you. So that's why I'm throwing a towel, because what we have built, the family that we have built, the traditions that we're building, everything that we're doing together, the life we're building, it's worth it. It's worth not throwing in the towel. So that is my why.
Girl, thank you.
Right.
Mm-hmm. We might come out of this shit after this little episode. Go ahead. I'm sorry,
this little episode.
This little episode.
It's a little episode.
A big episode.
Yeah, it ain't little no more. They big now. They big time.
Anyway,
big stage. right.
Jonathan, what is your response to that question?
I think I really get like energized from our marriage. I think I know I've told you this before, but I love you and I love us, right? I love like us together. I love the way that we can connect, vibe. I love the way that we just are, right? Like there's not many other places that I can really say outside of like what I get from you and Eli, where I like experience joy, right? Like my joy comes at home. I love kicking it. I love having a good time, but joy that is not manufactured right? Like it's truly at the house. And so I think that like even when things are rough, things are dark, things are really hard, we've experienced grief and loss and trauma along the way. In those moments, like even in the at the lowest of the lows, like it's still like a joy to do it alongside you. And that's really what keeps me going.
Give me a pound. I would have to agree, Jonathan, with what you said. Like you're my guy. Like I know we've talked about this on many episodes before, but we're legit friends. Like you said, you and Eli are who I look forward to seeing every day. Even when I've had the longest of days and I am exhausted, coming home to y'all is the highlight of my day. You and I have a special kind of relationship. Like we can go out and kick it in the streets. We can kick it at home. We can laugh together. I ain't never really seen you cry, so I ain't gonna say cry together. But I
been watching.
What you said?
I said you ain't been watching.
Whatever.
You missed some things.
You ain't really. The only time I see you cry, that I didn't even see physical tears, was when Kobe Bryant passed away. Honestly.
You got some stuff to let out.
Honestly. But
I do. I ain't gonna lie about that. I do.
But in all honesty, like I could never imagine throwing in the towel, because we have something that's so much greater than any challenge that we will ever face. Like I'm looking to the future and what that holds, not only for just me and you, but for our family. And that means more than anything to me, more than any challenge, any hurdle, any whatever. Like there's nothing more important to me than you and our child and our growing family. Facts.
Love that.
Okay.
Y'all answered that good.
Y'all love us and we love y'all.
Yes, for sure.
Well, I love you.
Yeah.
Let's be clear. I love
like
you,
that.
Jonathan.
I don't love you like that.
I don't fuck with Kendra either. Wait, was that towards me? I'm sorry. I thought you meant
love her husband.
That's good.
That was low key. That was low key shade to Jared though. I was being a little shady.
Next question.
That's all right.
Next question.
She loved me too.
I really.
So, next question. We're gonna get off that. Okay. Let's reel it on back in. So research is really supporting more Black dads in a home, whether that is in a co-parent situation or whether that's if you're married. So how do y'all feel about that? With these numbers like going up for years, it's been like the Black family is torn apart. The dad is absent. We don't know who the baby daddy is. It's all kind of things that come up with that, but that's changing. The trajectory is changing as well. And honestly, our kids' success is
tied to presence. That. Yeah.
So how do y'all feel about that?
Well, so one, I think that's amazing. Two, I also I never liked the narrative of like the absent dad, because white kids get to have their dad be missing, and it's not the same narrative, right? It's just, oh, I have a stepdad and he's great. Nobody talks about biological father, right? It's not the same pathology that we put on Black dads being absent, right? So that's number one, right? But in general, as we think about like just the Black families being kept together and being maintained, and that power structure kind of being present in the house, in the community, I think that's awesome and something to be celebrated, right? Like it is, and it's necessary, right? Like to make sure that kids, generally speaking, not just Black boys, but Black girls also need to have both parents in the home, right? To have these different models, to see what like relationships can look like functionally.
Healthy.
Yeah. And even if that, relationship changes and it's a blended family, we still have examples of what healthy relationships can look like. And I think that's just super important for our children and for the future of our community, right? So it's imperative. Yeah.
You have anything to add?
What's the question again? Like, what's the importance of the male figure in the house?
So now research is supporting that there are more Black dads in a home, whether it's a co-parent situation or not, like just involvement, period. Dads are getting custody, shared custody. It's more involvement than it's ever been. There are more marriages too when it comes to like the Black family. So I was just asking your opinion about that.
I think it's great that it's trending in the right direction. I've always said in all the episodes that I'm on, if Black dads are listening, you have a responsibility. If you have a child, you have a responsibility to be in that child's life. You have a responsibility to you have a responsibility to that child. You have an obligation to that child and to that child's mother. And I always have said, like, I know myself, I would feel some kind of way if another man was raising my child. I really would. I would not like it. I would not feel like that. I wouldn't feel right about it. I don't believe in the blended family. I'm sorry, Ferg. I don't believe in the stepfather.
I come from a blended family.
I understand that. But I stand firm in what I believe. If I had my kids, Drew Grace and Jay Grace, I am their father. And I will be there for them kids for whatever they need. And so if we got to hash some shit out, we ain't going nowhere. It's going to be me and you raising these kids. That's what it is. That's the obligation. I didn't just lay up with you and get you pregnant just to say, oh, this is my baby mama. Nah, you my wife and those are my kids and we're going to do this together no matter what. And so I think it's really good that it's trending in the right direction because we need Black dads. We need Black moms. We need Black families to stay together and understand what it means to go through ups and downs together no matter what. You just don't give up on your family. You just don't do that. It's a no-go for me.
So what about the relationships that are not healthy? You're saying they need to stay together?
I'm saying that people need to adjust. I'm saying that people need to understand if they're not the right example for their kids, I think they need to step outside themselves. They need to evolve to become the best that they can for their kids. But what if they can no
longer be together? Because again, I'm a person from a blended family. So you're saying my mom should have stayed with my dad. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying your father should have adjusted. I'm saying your father should have made himself into the person he needed to be. Why? No, ain't no way. If you say you can't, it's because you don't want to. You can do whatever you put your mind to.
Some people are not right together. You're saying they should stay together for the kids?
I'm saying they should be who they need to be. I'm saying your father should have changed. I'm saying your father should have looked at the situation. I'm saying your father should have stepped outside of himself and said that this is bigger than me. My family is bigger than me. I need to be this person for my family. And he should have changed. Yes, I'm saying that.
I think Jared is saying that he believes in the power of healing. Right?
Nope, Ferg. That's not what I'm saying. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying something very contentious. I'm saying something that might offend people. And I don't give a fuck. I'm saying that if you have a family, you fight for your family. I'm saying if you have kids with a woman, you make sure that you're the person that you need to be, that those kids can look up to you. Those kids respect you as a man. Those kids respect you as a husband. Those kids respect you as a father. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes kids can bring out the best in you. Sometimes your wife can bring out the best in you. You have to be willing to change, though.
But listen, people can still do that without being married.
Nah.
Yes. You can still be an active
Then why
parent.
did you get married then?
It could be for the wrong reasons. I don't know.
Well, if you decide to make that very serious commitment to somebody, you need to see it through. Marriage is not a joke. Marriage is not a spectacle. Marriage is, I'm going to get married so everybody can come see me get married. No. Marriage is accepting the fact that you believe that God made two people one for eternity. That's it. Until death do you part. That's it.
But people grow apart.
Nah, they don't grow apart. That's the enemy telling you something different.
No, that's not true.
In the Bible, what?
You can't get divorced. It does say it in the Bible.
Call that scripture out to me.
I don't know the
Where
scripture
does it say?
exactly. But
they talk about divorce specifically in Matthew.
Yeah, okay.
But I ain't gonna do it.
So, Jared, let me ask you this question.
What?
For the couple that's not married, who has created a child, and they've decided that they are not a good fit for each other, but in order to keep a healthy environment for their child, they've decided to co-parent, separate, don't want to be together, but co-parent their kids. What are your thoughts about that?
like I said, it's going to be contentious.
Mm-hmm.
However, I don't think that they couldn't create a positive environment for their child. I think they decided not to. I think they couldn't step outside themselves and say, what do I have to do in order to make this work? You have to be all in.
Mm-hmm.
You can't tell me, you two right now, y'all want mama pod to work, right? Mm-hmm. There's nothing that could tear y'all away from the mama pod. And I've seen it. It's 12 o'clock at night. It's fucking midnight. And we here recording this episode. So let me tell you something right now. If you go through a dark spot with your husband and you got a child, you better fucking figure it out.
But there are other things that happen that people cannot.
Those
be
are
together.
Excuses.
That is not true.
I only talk about results. The result is you and me got married, right? You and me made this family, and you and me are gonna see this family through to the end. That's it. That's all it is. And if I gotta change,
I don't want to see it through. I'm joking. Shit. But I'm just saying, like,
context matters though. But context matters though, Jared. Like
you can't force somebody to stay in for the kids.
You won't feel forced if I'm willing to change and be who I need to be. I have changed tremendously for you,
but
and I'll tell
everybody's not willing to change.
Then they shouldn't get married. And they shouldn't have kids like that.
But
that
doesn't mean that they didn't.
I didn't say it wasn't going to be an unpopular decision. I didn't say it was not going to offend people. I'm just saying I am who I am. I believe what I believe, and I'm going to speak on it.
Well, I'm a product of a blended family.
God bless them, because you my wife.
You know what? I'm about to slap you.
Okay, so
let's change the subject.
Question for both of you. What makes you, Jared and Jonathan, show up for your family every day?
You want to answer?
So we're gonna give Jared a break.
Give him a break.
Let's move on to Jonathan.
Doctor first.
What makes you show up for me and Eli every day?
I'm not sure how to answer it, to be honest with you. I want to, because I really want to be there, right? Like, there's nothing that would take me away from being there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't think of anything that would make me want to be absent. Like, I even hate when I'm away. I haven't been away in a long time, but like I hate being away.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm missing things, like if I'm missing bedtime, if I'm missing bath time, I feel some type of way, right? Because that's like, it's a bonding moment.
Yeah.
For our family, right?
Mm-hmm.
We go through our bedtime routine, and it's something that doesn't feel right with me
mm-hmm.
if I miss that,
mm-hmm.
right? So I want to. I don't know how to really answer the question. Like, I don't feel like I have another option.
You answered the question.
Yeah.
What about you? Show up, Jared.
I second what John says because I want to, and it's my charge that's given to me. I have to show up. Man, we make decisions in life, and when you make those decisions, you need to step the fuck up. Like, that's my only thing. I'm very.
Go ahead.
I saw you shake your head, babe. This is not the answer you want.
No,
Too bad, because it's the answer you gonna get today. I show up for my family because I want to. One, because I have to. My boys need me. My wife needs me, whether she realizes it or not. She needs me because guess what? Whether you realize it or not, whatever you going through, when I'm there, it's only for the betterment of you. I don't care about nothing else. As long as you straight, then that's what means the most to me. And the same for my sons. So I think my sons need me. I think my wife needs me, and I also want to show up as well. So like, ain't no days off. I'm your husband, girl.
Okay. So when we were on Samaya's show, not just another sex podcast.
That was a good one.
That was good.
Mm-hmm. Pent up impatient. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We got a lot of DMs and questions about comments like, how did y'all get through that period of time? The people want to know. The men want to know. They need some advice because they must be pent up impatient too. I don't know. But how did y'all get through that rough time? Because it was a dry spell. So what advice do you have for the pent up impatient dads out there or dads to be?
When we wasn't fucking?
Yes.
You just gotta let me know. Be clear.
Be direct with my dog.
You talking about after having a baby?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. You know, that shit hard. Get you some good lotion. Let me tell you, look.
Jesus out. Okay.
Jergens work the best. Look, can I speak on this one first? For you okay
You
with
got
that?
it.
Let me tell you something. Again, so part of it is you just see your wife in this big ass diaper. You just like, let me just not think about that. But also, you have to put your wife first, right? Like pent up impatient. Like you see what your wife just did. She gave birth to a whole and my kids was 9 pounds. There was some big ass boys coming out of there. And so, you know, I have to respect the fact that my wife just pushed out these big ass babies. And I need to give her the time to, one, be comfortable with her body again. If you respect your wife enough, you'll wait. It ain't that serious. You know what I mean? Like you'll give her the time that she needs to get back in the groove of things. And, you know, next thing, shit, the sex was good right after that, wasn't it? Shit, I remember that one. Ain't much too much I remember neither. What was it, about 7 months? That 7 month, we were good to go. Don't get embarrassed.
It was not no.
These people grown. 6, whatever it was.
Okay. Jonathan, answer the question.
Oh man. So
Cut the whole damn interview.
oh shit. So you need a little extra.
You can have mine. Just
I take it.
I know.
It ain't strong enough.
man.
Go ahead, answer the question,
All right.
babe.
All right. So I'd echo a lot.
Damn right. We agree on that shit. My dog know what's up. Shit.
Oh man. So I'd echo a lot of what Jared said. Eli was not that big.
Dang.
He was
Oh, that's-
because he was early.
Oh boy.
And so it wasn't the same, right? Like it the visual, I'm sure, wasn't the same experience. But I think for us it was more, it was still like we're still for 18 months after the miscarriage to the point of having Eli, being in the hospital, a month before he was born, him being in the NICU, like all of this was still in healing, right? Like we are mentally and emotionally healing as her body's healing at the same time, right? So it was, I think we had a different experience, right? So because as much as I love the fuck too, that was not,
That caught me off guard.
that was not on the forefront
That's
of my
what he
mind.
do.
That was not on. A little bit. It wasn't far from the fourth.
Be real.
It was
with
on the
her.
4 seconds.
Doctors like
It
to
was
fuck
on.
too, Ain't no shit.
So it wasn't the first thing on my mind though, right? The first thing on my mind was making sure that like everybody was straight. Like I'm the healthiest person in this household physically. Let me make sure everybody else is good to go, and whatever physical, sexual needs I got, I can figure it out. I'm gonna put some extra weights on today. Get a little extra moist today.
And the jerkins.
Got to lotion up every crevice today. But you got to get through it, right? It's all about, and I think, you know, like you did say, like, if you respect your wife enough, you will be patient, right? And that is absolutely true. Like, if you are in this and supportive of your wife, your partner, you are going to be supportive of the time that they need to get their body back together. Their body just experienced fucking trauma, right? Legit trauma. They had a living body taken out of their body, right? There's literally a wound in their body from this whole process, right? Like, who the hell am I to say, well, can I say?
Yes, you can.
What you gonna say? Bust it wide open?
No, he wasn't gonna say it.
Well, who am I to say, well, my dick hard, we got to figure something out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's secondary, right? My dick might be hard, and your body is literally bleeding, right? Like, what is more important? I can figure out this hard dick. I can figure that out. I can figure out how to work with this.
Oh
Lord. So it's really just being patient and loving your spouse through the process, or loving your partner through the process.
Thank you, babe.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm glad you figured it out with your,
we never just leave it alone. Okay, there's on a lighter note.
Y'all asked the question.
There is some.
This the last question.
Yeah,
y'all.
We need to get y'all off. Okay. So there's another trend on social media, and basically it asks your spouse, like, if a plane was crashing, do you think you can land it to save our lives? So we wanted to ask y'all, do y'all think y'all can land a plane to save us?
I ain't no motherfucking pilot.
You're not gonna try?
Yeah, I'll try, but what the fuck? You want me to land? What kind of plane is it?
I don't know.
Is it a fucking 727 Boeing, or are we talking about one of them little ones?
I know nothing.
Does it matter? What plane can you land?
Can you land? Can you try?
I can try to land the plane.
I can locate flotation devices. I can locate the masts that come down. And I can locate, if there's a parachute on this bitch somewhere, I can locate that, and we gonna jump.
Land a plane? That's the charge we get out there, man. We gotta land a whole fucking plane. I walk on the ground for a living. I'm in the Army. My wife asking me to land a fucking plane.
It's just a hypothetical question.
Can I land the plane? No.
If I could,
can
absolutely.
we embrace each other?
Would you
fuck one more time before we die? Maybe we can do that. Ain't that some shit? Zero gravity. We fucking.
How much time we got for we hit?
You know it don't take but 5 minutes sometimes. Jesus. Maybe. Am I gonna land the plane? No, sweetheart. We done. We got a will.
All right, we're moving on to Mama's Juice. Because Jared is completely out of juice.
Empty.
We gotta land planes and shit. Okay, baby.
Leave it up to
Who asked this question on social media?
I've just seen.
Where did this come from?
I don't know. I saw.
Can you land a plane?
If we were in a dire emergency situation, do you think?
You know what? I'm gonna submit to my wife. Can you land a plane, baby?
Let's submit, baby. Get back your ass in the pilot seat.
I will try to save us. I will try.
If Kendra got in the pilot seat, we're all fucking dying. Okay, she gonna get in there and be like, "Ooh, seat's kind of high." No, we would not land. Get the fuck out of here. Would you land the plane?
It gotta be high so I can see out the window.
Yes, I would try.
I'm trying to get that last nut.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Mama Juice. Mama
Juice.
Mama Juice.
All right. Well.
Figure out what to do with the hard dick.
Oh. Mama Juice, friend. What is it? What is Mama Juice? We gotta get off of here.
It's coming. It's coming. So, Mama Juice is my favorite segment of the show. Y'all know I love a good cocktail, and cocktails had to be incorporated in the Real Mama Pod. And today we are fortunate enough to have our Mama Juice sponsored by Premier Pours. Yes. So Demetrius from Premier Pours is Bruce and Demetrius. But Demetrius was with us today, and he really hooked us up.
He did.
Premier Pours is out of Atlanta, and they are a luxury mixology group. And I'm excited about this one because I don't have to mix the drinks no more.
Yeah. Jonathan got to use his brain.
Yes, we don't have to use our brains anymore to mix up any more drinks. And I'm so thankful that we now have this component of our show. So shout out to Demetrius. Shout out to Bruce from Premier Pours. If you are interested in ever sponsoring a Mama Juice for the Real Mama Pod, hit us up because we are always open to having sponsors for the Real Mama Pod, Mama Juice. Yeah. So let me tell y'all what's in the drink. So Demetrius and Bruce actually named this drink a Mai Tai, but y'all know we like to have our drinks fit our guests, and because we have our husbands here, Devonish actually named our drink for today, and I guess it's so fitting to the last part of this conversation. She named it Daddy's Home.
Hell yeah. I
That
like
is
that
home.
one.
I
You
mean,
know
you
where I
would.
rest my head at, Gear.
Okay, so let me tell y'all what's in the drink before Jared get down his rabbit hole. We
please,
don't
Lord.
want him going down no rabbit holes. So Daddy's Home has 1 ounce of light rum, an ounce of dark rum, a half an ounce of orange curacao, a half an ounce of orgeat syrup, a half an ounce of fresh lime juice. Y'all know I like that fresh lime, so shout out to Demetrius and Bruce on that. And then you have a sprig of mint, a lime wheel, and a cherry. And you serve this over crushed ice.
It's so good.
It's good.
And he made George stronger.
He
than
did.
He made mine, so
He made Devon sweet because she
Yes.
likes sweet drinks, but he
Perfect.
made me, Johnson, and
likes
Jared a little stronger. We can appreciate that. So Jared is actually going on his third.
third one.
Yeah.
That boy about to eat the lime.
So shout out to Bruce and Demetrius for Premier Pours.
Okay. So our second segment is my favorite segment. It's Mama's Corner. So this is our opportunity to connect with our guests further, as well as our listeners. And sometimes we could be reflective. And I feel like it's important to be reflective at this time because we don't really have y'all on all the time. And so I saw another trend on social media that I was dying to ask y'all. So this one is about the husband making less money than the wife. Some people get bent up out of shape about this. So I just want to understand y'all take and what y'all see, how y'all feel about it, where maybe the wife is making more than the husband.
I love it.
So what you got first?
I love it.
You like it?
Make that money, baby. Retire me, make it. She just the other day, Kendra sent me something about like something she did at work and with a financial incentive. And I said, I can't wait for you to retire me. Me and Eli gonna be with our shades on, kicked up on the beach.
That's exactly
while
what the
you
gift
making
was. that she
bank.
said.
That's exactly what it was. And I can't wait.
Right
Do
now,
your thing.
I don't make more than you.
No, but for most of our relationship you have.
Well, I'm glad that we work together.
Yeah, we sure do.
to keep.
Until you retire me, then
Okay, the real mama pop's gonna retire you. Me and Devin said that.
y'all gonna retire us.
Yes.
And I can't wait. Can't wait. Shout out to
Yeah,
SC
something
Media
retire.
Group for retiring.
Right.
What you think?
You know, for all the men out there, on a serious note, your value to your household is not directly tied to your monetary gains. Like your value as a man in your household is leadership, guidance, morals, values, protection, security. You know, as far as the monetary stuff, you're a team. It doesn't matter who's making the most money. It doesn't matter as long as you're making it together and you're building together and you're able to, and your wife still respects you as the man of the house. Don't worry about the money. Like a man's place in a household is so much more important than just money. We place all this value on money. It's just a piece of paper. But you actually being there and providing what you're supposed to provide as a man in your household, you're good.
So money's just a piece of paper. My friend can just go swipe if she wants.
Right.
That's what she do.
Oh, you giving me permission?
No.
Oh.
Let me look. All I'm saying is
Yeah, clear it up.
a man's value transcends money. That's all I'm saying. Like if your wife makes more money than you, that's okay. As long as she still gives you the respect that you need and the love that you need as a man, don't worry about the money. Like if you chose the right woman, it doesn't matter about the money because hers is yours is hers. Y'all making that together, and y'all bringing the same thing bringing something to the table. So the whole monetary thing, I don't care who make the most money, as long as one of y'all making a lot of money or both.
Yeah.
That's it.
Same account.
Broke together.
Right.
Shit.
Shit.
Right.
Them ones went a long way.
Sure did.
You had
Got me
lunch.
through a whole month.
Yeah.
Maybe some more than that. Dollar menu at McDonald's. That's when I used to eat
I'm
McDonald's.
gonna hold
y'all.
my baby down.
Yeah. I'm gonna hold you down too, baby.
I know you. I ain't worried about it. Huh?
Okay. Well, do you have any more
Another-
questions?
I don't have a single.
I think I'm done for the year. I don't think
The
y'all-
year?
Yeah.
The whole year.
They done wore me out today.
All right.
Oh Lord.
Well, Thank y'all for tuning in.
Well, if you made it to the end of this episode, thank you so much for tuning in because this was a lot.
But it was necessary.
It was necessary. We got through it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, until next time.
Bye.